Assalamu alaikum. Hello to everyone from Traveling with Mindful Azra. Today I'm here at Williamsburg, and it's an historical place, and our friends Dr. Schertz and Marianne Schertz and Firoz, we are all here. They invited us, and we are visiting this beautiful place. So we are here with Dr. Schertz, and he is the one who will tell us the whole history about Williamsburg. And here is Marianne and Firoz. Hello Marianne, Firoz.
Hello.
We just want to introduce you guys. You guys are with us.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Marianne. I'm glad that we're here at Williamsburg. The weather here is beautiful today.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I can't believe spring has actually sprung.
Yes.
And I'm Feroz Khan. I think we have known each other for a number of years,
Yeah.
and I'm glad to be here with you, helping you on your project in
Perfect.
Williamsburg,
Yes.
and I wish you well.
Thank you. And this is Dr. Schertz, and he is going to talk to us about the history of Williamsburg.
Thank you, Azra. I really love this particular city, Williamsburg. It was the second capital of Virginia. It was established back in 1632, and it was initially part of the defenses as they were fighting the Indians. Williamsburg is located between the York River and the James River, which were two historic rivers. When the colonialists came to the U.S., they went up these rivers. Jamestown, which is only 12 miles from here, was the first capital of Virginia. It's on the James River. In 1698, the courthouse burned down at Jamestown, and they decided to move the capital from Jamestown in 1699 to Williamsburg. And here we have now the governor's mansion. We've got the Burgess, States of Burgess. We have the courthouse right behind me.
Here, okay.
That's the courthouse right behind me. Just to my left and your right is the armory. That's where they stored all of their rifles and ammunition. But this entire park has been reconstructed. John D. Rockefeller came down and visited this area, and it was in tremendous disrepair. And he reconstructed everything with actors to make it just like it was back in the 1600s. And it was, it's a wonderful place to walk around. They have taverns, they have stores, they have the state capitol, they have the mock trials, the courthouse. All of that has been staged so we understand what's going on here. The other thing that they did in Williamsburg, because at that time slavery was very much part of the culture here in the South, they wanted to make certain to explain the culture of the slaves and how they lived and how they interacted, so you could get a sense of what was going on. Now, Williamsburg was the capital of Virginia until 1780.
Okay.
That's when we had the Revolutionary War against England, and it was felt that Williamsburg was too close to the York and the James Rivers and that the British would be able to attack it. So they moved the capital in 1780 to Richmond, which is about 50 miles from here. And so we're going to be walking around, talking to people in their colonial outfits to get a sense of what Williamsburg is really like.
Thank you so much for the history, because it's so beautiful. America is amazing. Like, you know, wherever you go, you find history and geography. And you were also mentioning about the slaves, you were telling me about the slaves that one tribe was selling the other tribes. Would you like to mention that?
Well, I could explain how the
Yeah.
trade got started in the United States. England, whenever as they were expanding their colonial empire, did it with slaves or indentured servants. Now, what they set up was a slave trade that went from Britain to Africa, from Africa to America, from America back to Britain. And what they would do is they would send teapots and pottery and things from England to America. They would go to Africa, and there was a tribe in a portion of Africa that would go and attack their neighbors and capture them, and they would sell them as slaves to the British. And they would load them on boats, and they would bring them to America. So most of the, as we call African Americans in America now, can trace their roots back to those slave boats that came out of Africa, but they were really African Americans or black men selling black men. It was like they were just, it was warfare with tribal warfare in Africa. And that totally changed the whole dynamic of race relations in America. And we've still been trying to recover from it, but it dates all the way back to the British.
It's all about?
Well, this building here is a guardhouse.
Okay.
So it's meant to be an off-duty place for guards during the 7 Years' War against the French, when they were guarding and looking out for the magazine across the way here. So think of it kind of like a break area. Now, they'll be doing rotations here, come in, maybe cook a meal, take a quick nap, go back over. But they don't really live here. They'd be living someplace else outside the town. And today, we kind of use this modern recreation because the original one came down a couple hundred years ago. We use this kind of as a break area and where we do projects and behind-the-scenes work today.
So this is the street named Duke of Gloucester, and this is a downtown area. This is the main street. This street has all the shops here and the big houses of all the rich people from British, and they lived here. And this is they have lots of taverns here. People used to come and stay here. And also it's a Colonial Congress over here. On that building is the Congress building. And so in the evening it is a very lively place, but because of the COVID it is little different than it used to. I am going to talk to this lovely lady here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very well.
I'm from Pakistan, and I am making a little video of this beautiful city, Williamsburg. I love your dress. It's so nice. So, what is this building here?
This is James Anderson's house, and it's in front of his armory. He
Okay.
was, the public armorer for the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War in the 1700s till about 1781. And today we have the blacksmith and other trades performing their trade in the back now.
Great. Oh, in that house.
In the buildings behind us.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And this is my crew. This is my crew, Dr. Shers, Firoz Khan, and Marianne. Marianne, are you enjoying yourself?
I am.
You are?
I am.
Perfect.
I'm
Well,
having a good time. I'm talking to a lot of these people in Colonial Williamsburg and learning
yeah.
things that I kind of had forgotten that I had heard many years ago.
Yeah.
And because of the pandemic, it's not as crowded now, so it's really pleasant to come.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's so nice to be here.
How are you?
Blanket?
A baby blanket.
Baby blanket. These houses are all owned by wealthy British people, and this house is from William Waters, and he was a very wealthy planter, and he lived here from about 1750 until his death in 1760. And is the back of the side of the Williamsburg's house, and this is another small house here and his yard, and this is his store, and so he owned this store also. And so now all these houses are just here to bring history, and the storehouse on this site was operated by a succession of merchants. Williams, Waters, he owned this place, and this is how they used to hang their clothes and display back then. So this is a little stream here of water and walkways and houses all around, and it's a beautiful spot to relax and sit, and so this is all amazing stuff here. So these are the walkways from the main street to all the way back, and you can walk from here, and they have little small parks, and you can go all around from these walkways, and it has all the beautiful places, and they show how people used to live in this place, and yeah, this is really amazing. So this is the wine cellar, or maybe it's a stairway going down in the basement. This house belonged to a wealthy merchant, and look at these windows and the details on the bricks. They are, I mean, they have this old touch, and this ivy over here, and this is the main street. This is where we were before, and this is the main street of Williamsburg. This is a little restaurant, and everybody is sitting outside, and it's a nice view here, and seem very cozy. And now we are going to enjoy our lunch. Look at this ball and see the mechanism of this door, how it closes. This is the old style. See how this closes. This is how they used to so these are the places they used to punish the prisoners, and this is how they put their head in these holes and their hands, and they have to stay here for like a few hours. And this is the courthouse. Look at the flag, because this area is like colony, British colony, so the flag is also very different. It has British and American colors, and it's amazing how they make it British and American. We had a very nice time at Williamsburg, and now it's time to go back home, and thank you for being part of my channel, Traveling with Mindful Azra. See you soon. Bye.